All right, I'm here 1 minute early. Again, waiting on my sidekick to show up. Where are you, Kevin? All right, he's seen it, so he should be joining in a moment. Thank you very much. All right, this is Tuesday. We are now into the 7th day of April. The first week of April is out of the way and gone. We are in the midst of a worldwide pandemic. I don't think I have to tell you that. And I think I'm going to have that. Look, who is that?
Yeah. Oh, you're already live. Okay.
Look, it's 7 o'clock. Look at your clock.
It's 6:59 on my clock.
Yeah, well, you're always late.
I'm always late.
You bought this big mansion, and now you're like all other superstars. It's like I'm gonna make everybody wait on me. So anyway,
I got a slow computer.
Well, I think you got a little bit lazy since you started working at home too. How's that working out for you?
It's working pretty good. It's kind of quiet, but it's nice. Get out of bed and walk into the next room and get on the computer.
You got nobody to pick on, huh?
Yeah, I don't have anybody to pick on.
Oh, well. You'll get used to it, I guess. Well, anyway, we're in the midst of a crisis, and it affects everybody a little bit differently. Sadly, there are people dying. And even Catherine's aunt, somebody in her family died over the weekend at Shelby Hospital. Yeah. So I can't say that I didn't know this person, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it is serious, and I think they're making, we should be trying to keep it from spreading and getting worse, and hopefully we'll get it leveled out before it gets much worse. This thing did spread around the world rather quickly. But anyway, don't want to focus on that for the show, but I wanted to just send my regards out to everyone that is affected by this. And I hope everybody's being safe and taking practical measures to protect yourself and your family and the community as well. I think that everybody can agree on that, whether you think you should wear a mask or not. You want to be safe, right? So that's what it boils down to. This is Abnormal Alabama, and there's my abnormal friend right there, Kevin the Cane. We got to do it this way now.
That way. There we go.
And Kevin's got he chose one of our main topics for tonight, and we're going to get into that in a minute, but I always like to do a little promotion, and Kevin likes to promote his material as well. So don't forget this book, and I'm working on another book somewhat similar to this one. I was in weddings and whatnot, so relationships has kind of been my thing. So I'm working on another follow-up book to this that I'll talk about later. I'm not going to get into that tonight, but this is available at 2 different places. And somebody just said, y'all are amazing. And so we're going to say, you're amazing too, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. So right here is this book is available at 2 different places, Amazon.com and also on Lulu.com. I'm publishing books in 2 different places. I don't know if you've ever used Lulu or not.
Nope.
Let me tell you what I like. Y'all bear with us a minute here, listeners. But let me tell you, Kevin, Lulu's a lot older company than Amazon. It's been around forever. And the thing I like about Lulu is once I upload my manuscript, get my cover done and whatnot, it's published immediately.
Oh.
You don't have to wait on that Amazon stuff. Okay. So that's why I publish in both places, because the pricing structure is a little bit different. It's still not ridiculous. It's within $1 or so of each other. Right now, if you order from Amazon or Lulu, either one, keep in mind, shipping right now is slow. It's not slow because of the postal service. It's slow because Amazon, these other companies are practicing social distancing. They furloughed people, and just like Kevin, some people are working from home, so everything's affected. But you will get your book. I do have, like Kevin, I think Kevin, you still got some copies of your book.
Yeah.
So if you order from us personally, if you message us here on Facebook or go to our websites, email us or whatever, number one, we will autograph you a copy and get it to you a lot quicker than you'll get it from Amazon or Lulu. And also, we make more money. The price is the same, but when you buy it from us, Amazon and gets less money, we get a little bit more. And being the poor, starving artist, now I know, yeah, you can't look at us. We don't look like we're starving. But regardless of all that, help us out. Kevin is affected in more in ways different than I'm affected. I was into events and weddings. I'm totally shut down. Everything I was doing is totally out. All the weddings we had scheduled are postponed into the fall. It's just totally changed my life. So you can help me out by buying some of my books. And if you don't want to talk about dating the dead, then here's a book I did on the coronavirus. And the subtitle to this book is The Facts, Not the Politics. Took the politicians out of it. So I've got several books, and this is not even all of them. I had a lot of dead time. Kevin had 10 or 11 books out, and I had to catch up with him. So I really had to work hard, and I'm taking a little break from it right now because I don't have writer's block. I've been writing for years. I just never published my stuff. So a lot of this material and some of these books, I just had to go back to old hard drives and, format it and put it together. But some of the stuff I'm working on now, I'm kind of working from scratch as well. So there it is. Lulu.com is spelled just like it sounds, LULU.com. It's been around for a long time. Some people are not aware of it because Amazon came in and just kind of took over the world. But I encourage you to look at that, Kevin. I've got this book here, Kevin.
Yeah.
I've got it published on Amazon as well as Lulu. Okay? So I don't have it published. Plus, it's more marketing. You know what I'm saying? They work just like Amazon does, except it immediately goes into publication. You don't have that waiting time like you've got on Amazon. Okay, so I know the purchaser's end, that's no big deal, but on our end, that makes a big difference if you want to get your book out quicker. You can also publish for Kindle, ebooks and whatnot on Lulu as well. So I just want to take a minute and enlighten you on that. Remember that, Kevin, you might need it, LULU.com. Okay. Our website, we got a couple of different websites, abnormalalabama.com. You could be watching this on YouTube, which is Abnormal Alabama on YouTube. We got already 5 listeners, people watching. Have you shared this, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So now, also Abnormal Alabama Facebook, which some of you I see are watching there, and then Abnormal Alabama on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. And then you see right under that big head right there, over there with the black hair, it says myhaunteddolls.com. That's his website. And he needs just like 20 more subscribers. Come on, beat this guy up. Ashley, if you're out there watching, go over My Haunted Dolls on YouTube and subscribe to that man, his YouTube. I know he's not near as good looking as I am. He's kind of a little bit hillbilly-ish, but he's a good guy.
Got more hair.
Yeah, well, some God made some heads perfect. The other ones he covered with hair.
Showing I just need 16 more subscribers.
Wow, you got 4 since last week.
Yeah.
I got about 3 or 4 since last week as well.
So that's good.
Yeah. So welcome everybody. Somebody said they're going to go subscribe to your channel now.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So Kevin, promote your stuff, and then we're going to get into a couple of different topics.
All right, my haunted collection. That's
Hey, you know what?
Huh?
That face on that book looks better than your face, so just move it over a little bit.
Aren't you funny? The stories behind the original items I collected that started the whole collection right here in this little book. You can find this anywhere, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. It's even out there on eBay on some of those stores, and it's on Kindle, and it's at myhauntedolls.com if you want to order directly and get an autograph on it. So be sure to check that out. It comes complete with some of my journal entries from when I was originally collecting, and there's even a ghost photo out there. So I showed that last time, but there it is again, of the image of what looks like a little girl in my hallway, little girl spirit. So be sure to check that out. The last novel I did, Crimson, the Blood Painting, based on a real, there's a reflection on there, this nice glossy cover, based on a real haunted painting. You see there in the cover there, the story of a haunted painting from Salem, Massachusetts, that once hung in the home of a practicing witch, and it now hangs on my wall. But it had such an interesting story, I turned it into a novel. So you can check that out at the same locations, or there's a bonus for this one. It's on audiobook on Audible, iTunes, Amazon. It's performed by the wonderful Lynn Thomas, a great voice actress who did an amazing job on it. So be sure to check that out if you'd rather listen to the book, especially while you're cooped up with this coronavirus. Be sure to check that out. And something I didn't show, I've never shown here before. I thought I'd flash up here while I'm in control of the screen. Look, an actual piranha. This is a piranha from the Amazon River. I actually ordered this online. You can buy these. It's a real piranha that's been taxidermied. Got the real teeth there. I thought that was pretty awesome, so I had to have me one. Just imagine that little guy was swimming down the Amazon River at one time and eating.
That thing's got prettier teeth than I do.
Look, it's the size of my hand, and they probably get bigger than this. So I love this thing. And
Right.
I like to collect taxidermy things like this. I got a big spider from Thailand. I got a alligator head. And I've got a little great white shark and a big crawfish in there too. But I thought I'd just show that off. I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you never showed that before, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
So we need to order some of those. Just kind of put them in the Cahaba River.
Yeah, that would get a good reaction.
His website at myhauntedolls.com, and all his books are available. And again, if you go directly to him, he might even throw that fish in with a book. Would you give that fish away?
This one's mine. No. But you can get these on eBay, Amazon. They're not too expensive.
All right.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Pretty cool. You got your Kevin's house is an oddity store, except nothing's for sale. It's a museum, right?
For oddities.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So myhauntedolls.com, myhauntedolls on YouTube, and he just needs 16 more subscribers. And put the word out. Share all that. Even share this live stream on your page. Get your friends involved. We got this lockdown going on, and let me tell you what. After 7, 8 o'clock at night, there's nothing to do anyway. Even if they didn't have the lockdown, since they closed everything down, we are the best entertainment you're going to find right here on a Tuesday night. This is the best right here. So now, wondering what we're going to talk about tonight. Kevin, since he's working from home and he plays around a lot, he came up with something, and I'm going to let him get into it. He shared the website with me, but it's not Nessie, the Loch Ness monster, but there's another. This is Chesapeake Bay in Maryland, and no, this is not where Ted Kennedy ran off the bridge and killed that girl. This is, well, I don't know. Maybe the Chessie monster had something to do with it. Who knows?
But there is a thing happened this week with the Kennedys that might be tied into this. I know a lot of cryptid lovers are going to get out there and give their ideas of what happened this week.
Let's see. Hold on. I can, dang it. Hold on a minute. I hit the wrong button. Okay. Do you want me to share this video and let them watch the video before we start talking, or what?
Well, yeah. What's it a video of?
It's on that page you shared about the monster.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, hold on. God dang it. Very stubborn. Okay, hold on a second. So we're gonna go and let you watch this video, and then Kevin, I guess he's got some story he'll share along with it. Is that right, Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I gotta go through here and share the screen with audio. And Legend of Chessie Alive. Here we go. So I think this mutes us out. I'm not sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, keep talking, Kevin. I can hear you. Here we go. Excuse the ad at the beginning of it, but
no matter how far I'd give the world to be wherever you
sponsored by Adobe.
This is the video that set a mystery into motion. Where did it come that way first?
Yes, come up the bay and went right here.
Bob Prue, who still lives on Love Point on Kent Island, is convinced that in 1982 he was the first to record Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay sea monster.
Telephone pole that swims like this, not like a snake. And there was 4, 5, 6 of us here. We all saw it. It went around to the other side of the island, went up in the rock, and there was a commercial artist there, and he sketched it, and it looked exactly the same as what we saw on the film.
Prue wasn't alone. In the 1980s, dozens of people, many on Kent Island, claimed they spotted Chessie.
When I was, 8 years old, Chessie was the realest thing I can imagine.
Dr. Eric Cheesem of Chesapeake College has researched the sightings and their impact.
The history of Chessie is kind of rooted in the weirdness of the 1970s. The 1970s are kind of the decade of weird. You have all kinds of books coming out about the Bermuda Triangle, and then, of course, in 1975, you have Jaws.
Cheesem says Jaws fueled fears about the water. At the same time, Marylanders were starting to really focus on the health of the Chesapeake Bay.
For that kind of 10 or 15-year period, Chessie was really important, really right at the heart of the environmental movement in this state.
In 1985, a state law was even proposed to protect Chessie, spurring more environmental awareness, citing scientists at the Smithsonian who studied Prue's video. They determined it was an animal, but they couldn't tell what kind.
No one at the time in the scientific community would admit anything other than, yeah, it's not an otter, and it is something, and it looks like a prehistoric eel that breathes like a whale.
Today, the legend of Chessie is more friendly, greeting tourists at Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum and featured on the paddle boats at the Inner Harbor. Prue stands by what he saw.
I think at the time, it just followed the bluefish, which we used to have a great run of bluefish. Now they're down to the little 1 and 2 pounders. And I'm sure it's still out there somewhere.
If you're a cynical man, you probably think that Chessie didn't exist. I guess I'd like to hang on to a little piece of my belief.
Who knows? It's a very big body of water out there, right? Well, Adam tells us.
All right, Kevin, about all that.
All right. Well, I wanted to talk about I don't know if you heard about the disappearance this past week of one of the Kennedys in the Chesapeake Bay.
Is that RFK's grandchildren or JFK's grandchildren? I forget which.
Well, I know it's the granddaughter of Robert Kennedy.
Okay, Robert RFK. Okay.
It says the body of one of two, and this happened today. This was posted today. The body of one of two Kennedy family members who went missing last week when their canoe capsized in the Chesapeake Bay was recovered on Monday, the authorities said. The Maryland Natural Resources Police said on Monday night that it had found the body of Mava Kennedy Townsend McKean, age 40, a granddaughter of Robert F. Kennedy, and they are still they're continuing to search for her son, 8-year-old Gideon McKean. Miss McKean's body was recovered in 25 feet of water about 2.5 miles south of her mother's residence in Shadyside, Maryland, where the two family members set off in their canoe on last Thursday. Emergency responders searched the area by helicopter and used sonar technology, and divers also aided the search. And they said Miss McKean's body was found at 5:31 p.m. I think that was last night.
Yeah, it was the last. I know it's the last 24 hours or 12 hours or so. Well,
Yeah.
So that was at the Chesapeake.
Yeah, and it says Miss McKean and her son had jumped into the canoe last Thursday to retrieve a ball that went into the bay, and they were unable to paddle back to shore.
Considering that they were, I'm sure they all grew up in that area. I don't think the water was new to them. It's kind of strange to me that they would have an issue in that body of water like that.
Yeah, it says Miss McKean and her children had been playing kickball in a shallow cove behind the house when one of them kicked the ball into the water. The cove is protected with much calmer wind and water than in the greater Chesapeake, wrote her husband on Facebook. They got into a canoe intending simply to retrieve the ball and somehow got pushed by wind or tide into the open bay.
Oh, that don't sound right.
And then a concerned citizen saw two people in a canoe drifting in the bay and called 911 from the Columbia Beach community pier at 4:30. After that last sighting, they were not seen again.
And that was almost a week ago that they first disappeared.
Yeah, so last Thursday. The thing is, I mean, they just finally found her body after all this searching and sonar and diving. They finally find her close to where she disappeared.
So it wasn't like the body was in some strange place. It was in the vicinity, but they didn't find it.
And they combing that whole area, and it took them that long to finally see her. I wonder, where she came from and what happened to the little boy. They still haven't found him.
Right.
So I'm just waiting on, people in the cryptid community to start. I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm sure soon they'll start saying, oh, it's the work of Chessie.
Well, you're the one that's starting it.
I guess I am. But no, I don't know. I mean, it's strange. I'm wondering what happened there. I mean, like you said, I mean, people like that, they grow up around the bay there. They know the water. They know where and when to go out.
I mean, so that's all Kennedy backyard right there.
Yeah.
It's not like they're foreign to that. That's their territory. That is strange. I never thought about that, but all right, you heard it here, folks. I'm the prophet, and Kevin put the pieces together, and you heard it here first. The Kennedy granddaughter and the little grandson. I guess that'd be the great grandson, wouldn't it? Yeah,
it was her son, so it'd be Robert's great grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first. So a little bit later in the show, folks, this is what I want to try. We're all in this lockdown situation, and what a better time to do remote viewing, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna, with all you guys here, we're not gonna do this until around 8 o'clock. So we got over 30 minutes. Get more people to join us here because we're going to do an experiment, and we're going to do some remote viewing with some images that I picked out, and the ones that come the closest. And I'm going to step you through how this works and what you do with remote viewing, and we're going to pick 2 that come the closest, and those 2, then we're going to have you target Chesapeake Bay and see if we can find Chessie. Okay.
Ooh.
Now, wouldn't that be neat if we put, because remember, I've made my predictions. They've all come true this year. Kevin is the one that targeted this, and he's not even a cryptid guy, but his massive brain put this together. So you're looking at the future right here. Kevin and Kelsey are the future of this, you know. Just go ahead and bow down to us, okay? Let's just do it over with. We're gonna co-author a book, and it's gonna be about 2020 and how Kevin and I are going to take over the world. And I'm Dr. Evil, and he's Mini Me. Okay, that means you got to shave. All right. Here's the deal. That is interesting, and I never thought about that. I had heard sometime way in the past about Chessie. That's a very old story. It goes back in the 80s, but I have not thought about that. It's just not, but it's a very interesting cryptid story. Do you have anything else to add to that outside of your conspiracy theory about the Kennedy granddaughter? Now, the husband was not with them. They were just playing near the bay there, near the water. The great-grandson kicked the ball. It went into this, I guess, shallow water right at their backyard. Yeah. And somehow or the other, they both ended up in the water and vanished. And then it took a week to find the body of her. They've still not found the body of the little boy. And it wasn't like the body was moved from the area. If it was returned to the area. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Was there any damage done to the body? Was there any, I mean, you showed the piranha. Was there nibbles on the body?
That's the thing they haven't said yet, what condition the body was in, or if drowning was the cause of death. They just said they found the body. They haven't released any information at all on what condition it was in.
That would be, and they may never, you know, and they'll add to your conspiracy theory by not sharing any information. We should demand pictures of that body so we can examine it.
Yeah. But in my research of the creature, today, and I've done some other, prior, especially when I went to visit Baltimore a few years ago and heard a little bit about the monster. Chessie, of course, if you haven't figured it out, is their lovable way of naming the creature after Nessie, the Loch Ness monster. So Nessie, Chessie. And people have described Chessie as a lot like the Loch Ness monster, the long serpent-like body they've seen come up out of the water. The thing I haven't found when I was looking, they don't go out here and say anything about anybody claiming being attacked by the monster in the past. It's always sightings of it. They see something in the water. They can't describe or explain what it is. But I've never seen any reports yet so far about anybody actually being attacked by it. That doesn't mean it hasn't happened. There just not have been any reports, or has anybody gone out here and tried to blame any disappearances on the monster, even though there have been some disappearances in Chesapeake Bay in the past. But nobody's ever tried to dare say, or at least what I could find, they didn't go and say, well, it's the monster. But this has been around a long time. We saw the video about Bob Frew back in the 1980s when he saw and caught some old video of it. But it says dozens of people, most on Kent Island, have also claimed they've spotted Chessie. Eric Cheesem of Chesapeake College researched the sightings and their impact. He says, I don't answer the question, is Chessie real? Because when I was 8 years old, Chessie was about the realest thing I could imagine. The history of Chessie is rooted in the weirdness of the 1970s. You've all these books about the Bermuda Triangle and then Jaws in 1975, which fueled fears about the water. At the same time, Marylanders were starting to really focus on the health of Chesapeake Bay. So for that 10 to 15 year period, chassis was really important, right at the heart of the environmental movement in this state. Wow. In fact, in 1985, a state law was even proposed to protect chassis, spurring more environmental awareness, said scientists at the Smithsonian who studied Frew's video. They determined it was an animal, but they could not tell what kind. No one at the time in the scientific community could or would admit anything other than, gee, it's an otter. It's not an otter. It's something, and it looks like a prehistoric eel that breathes like a whale. That's all they would say. The legend of Chessie remains alive today, greeting tourists at Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, and it's also featured on the paddle boats at the Inner Harbor. So it sounds like the community there treats it like a lovable legend. They don't talk about it in a ill way. They talk about it like, it's something fascinating and helpful toward their environment, which is a new take on, a community and how they talk about a cryptid in their area. You don't hear that about Bigfoot or a Loch Ness Monster
Well, let me add fuel to this fire, and I did not research it because I didn't know which direction you were going to go with any of this. But up in that general vicinity, I don't know if it's off the coast of New York, but somewhere up east, there is a government lab on an island to where they have experimented with animals. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I've heard that on. I think I've seen something about that on Animal Planet.
Probably, and it's really kind of covert, and they say that they found really strange things, like there's been genetic changes in animals and whatnot. I did a quick search while you were talking. I couldn't find anything, but I know that was something that's real big for a while, and it's where in the world would I find this? So I don't know. It'd take a little bit for me to find it, but there's some island or something up in that area. Animal DNA.
Is it the Chesapeake area?
Up east somewhere. I don't know if it's off the coast of New York. It's just kind of in the vicinity of up east.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time since I've even looked at it. But you couldn't get close to this place. It was kind of like that movie. I'm brain dead with all this stuff, Kevin. You're a lot more of a movie buff than I am, but the book, and they did a movie about it, Doctor something, and he did genetic crossing of animals and on this island.
Oh yeah, the island of Dr. Moreau.
There you go. See, I knew I knew you would know it.
Yeah,
I remember. So, believe it or not, it's something very similar to that. That's sponsored by our government up in that. I'm not saying in Chesapeake Bay area, but up in the east, up there somewhere. And I'd have to research that to get more tuned into it. So,
okay.
That'd be interesting to find out. Watch for that, guys, because when I get time, I'll post that on our Facebook page once I find it. And watch that movie that he just named.
Island of Dr. Moreau.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah. I like the first movie that they did back in the 30s that Charles Lofton played the doctor, the old black and white movie.
Guys, if you've got any questions about movies, especially horror flicks, Kevin is a walking encyclopedia, as you just saw. It's like he's quicker than Google.
I've been watching monster and horror since I think I was 5 or 6 years old when my dad sat with me and watched Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. That was my first horror. And I was suckered in. And I've watched monster and horror ever since.
And now he's trying to write the books. Next thing you know, he'll be producing a movie.
Yeah, I wish. Speaking of movie monsters, I don't know if you saw the other link I sent to you before I sent the Chesapeake. There's the one about the incident in the Ohio River. Did you see that one?
No. I had a lot going on right there, so let me see if I can. And that was,
you know,
go ahead.
yeah, it was before I messaged the link for Chessie, there was one above that for the Ohio River.
Oh, okay. Green clawed beast.
Yeah. Now you probably know the movie The Creature from the Black Lagoon, right?
Oh yeah. Hold on a second. I'm gonna let you talk about that.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab this image and put it up here.
Okay.
So you go ahead and talk about it.
Okay. Want me to go ahead?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll be working on this one. Some reason
First 3D movie they did. Uh-huh. I don't know if that was the first 3D movie they did, but it was when they first started 3D movies back in the early 50s. In 1954, they introduced Creature from the Black Lagoon. There it is in that picture there. Old 1954 horror movie is one of my favorites to watch when I was a kid. One of my favorite movie monsters. That's pretty scary looking for a little kid back then.
looks kind
Probably
of
not as scary.
reminds me of some of my family.
But what people don't know and what's been theorized is that creature, the look and everything was based on a legend in the Ohio River that's been going on since the early 50s, as far back as I can trace, about the green-clawed beast of Ohio River. And it says it was in August of 1955 when this happened. It was a hot summer afternoon near Evansville, Indiana on August 21st, 1955, when Naomi Johnson and her best friend, Louise Lamble, along with Naomi's children, went to Ohio River for a cooling swim. While the children remained on the riverbank, Naomi, who was a strong swimmer, swam out into the river. Her friend Louise also entered the water with an inner tube. At some point, while just 15 yards offshore, Louise was pulled underwater, but soon surfaced, gasping for air. She said something was pulling her under just before disappearing yet again under the surface. After several attempts, she managed to free herself. Once back on the river bank, Naomi's wounds from the attack were obvious. Her leg was scratched from her knee to her ankle and was covered with a bluish-colored mud. When medical help was summoned, they tried to clean Naomi's leg, but they could not remove a bluish stain on her leg, which reportedly took several days to fade. While no one got a good look at what attacked Naomi Johnson, she reported that the creature had a green scaled body and hairy three-clawed hands. Johnson later claimed that she was visited by a U.S. Air Force officer who warned her not to speak of what happened. In fact, she said that what attacked her looked like one of those little green men. While many strange creatures and events have been reported along the Ohio River, the case of the green-clawed beast seems to be a case of a misinterpretation of a real event that was then exaggerated by years of retelling. The Ohio River has deadly undertow and may have been responsible for pulling Naomi Johnson underwater. The river bottom is littered with cast-off fishing line and other debris, as well as trash from the busy shipping traffic that moves along the river. As for the blue stain that could not be cleaned from Johnston's leg, it was tested and shown to be mud from deep caves beneath the river and probably stirred up by the boat traffic or other very natural underwater movement. So you're always going to have some scientific person come along and try to dismiss everything and say, oh, it's this, it's that. I don't know if mud from way down deep in caves could make its way up to 15 feet from a shoreline. I mean, sounds to me more like something from down deeper than the caves came up and was rooting around the shoreline. But she, to her dying breath, swore up and down that what she saw was real. And there have been other sightings out there too. They said before the early 50s there was never such a report of a creature in the Ohio River. And supposedly it's been a one-time encounter, but if you dig deeper, there have been other people that have said they've also spotted something swimming around out there in the Ohio River near that area that they can't explain what it is. It looks like a half man, half amphibian, but they've never seen it come out of the water. But some believe that that's where they got the creature from the Black Lagoon look, was from that legend. I'm not sure if that's true because that incident didn't happen until a year after the movie, but they say that that legend had been around a few years before that.
Uh-huh.
So there's really no straight explanation as to where that started from, or what the original sighting was. But hers was the most famous, and I mean that's pretty scary to be out there. She was in an inner tube and got yanked out of it into the water. I mean, that would have to take something a strong force. How can you blame that on Undertow? She was out of the water on a tube.
She was not even in the water.
And pulled her into and under the water.
Yeah. Wow.
And witnesses saw her when she came up, she got yanked down again.
And you wonder why I never like to go swimming. Watch too many of that stuff. Another little thing to think about here, we're in the midst of this virus, COVID-19. And they're working on theory from Wuhan about this having come from some animal. When you look at all this stuff going on and you study history, there's clearly different life forms on the earth. I don't think we know every life form on the earth there is. And some people believe in Bigfoot, some people believe in Chessie, and, some of it's been debunked, some of it hasn't, and so forth. But what do you think the possibility is that these other life forms are maybe more intelligent than what we give them credit for, and they are pushing back? Now that they've got this lockdown from this, because this virus, we're all on this stay-at-home orders pretty much across the country right now. And I don't know if you noticed it, but wildlife is coming out into neighborhoods, deers and all kind of wildlife. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that?
I've seen a little bit. I mean, I've seen more activity in the woods behind my house. I've seen, of course, I don't know if that's neighborhood pets. I've seen a few dogs out there. There's a cat perched on my back patio that's never been out there before. I've never seen it before. I've seen a few deer out there, but I haven't really, because of the pollen, I haven't been outside a lot, so I haven't really been able to watch long enough to see what else is going on out there. That pollen messes with my allergies. I had a bad cough.
My eyes right now are, it's been. I had to be outside a little bit today, and that's all I can say. Now, I believe Ashley is online with us, and she said, off topic, there's a movie made in 2018 about the coronavirus. She said, I'd love to tell you all about it. Well, Ashley, I tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to see if you can get on with us. We'll try this, and hold on, bear with me a second. We may have company here, Kevin, and we'll
I should have tidied up a little bit more.
Huh?
I should have tidied up a bit more if we were going to have company.
You're fine. Hold on a second. Let's see if she comes on board here. If not, well, she saw my message. So if she wants to tell us about this movie, I Feed a Wild Deer. Well, you can look at Kevin and I. We feed ourselves pretty good. I think Kevin feeds. Yeah. I think Kevin, your eyes are bothering you too, aren't they?
I think a sleep crust showed up in my eye.
So you're not working. You're not working at home. You're sleeping at home.
I've been up since early. I've been working. I can't not work. They're watching us. They're monitoring us on these computers.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
God is watching.
They're watching us. Okay. Well, what we're going to do, Is there any more you want to share on any of that, Kevin?
That was all on that. I'm just interested to see what else happens with this Chesapeake Bay disappearance and what they find out.
You keep us
That was-
posted so we can come back next week.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty coincidental. I mean, I don't know. Just depends on what they found out about the body they found.
Well, we could take it, you know, of course we can't because we can't go anywhere right now. Start saying we could go up there and investigate, but we can't. It's funny because now that gas is cheap, we can't go anywhere.
Well, I have my dad's Air Force buddy and his wife live in Maryland. That's who he visited a few years ago. And they
wow.
told us they went on lockdown early. A couple of weeks ago, they were already on lockdown. They're not going or coming out of Maryland.
They're right next to D.C. and all that. But the politicians are going to take care of themselves.
Yeah, it's locked up tight.
Yeah. All right. We'll see what else happens there. But let's move on. And we're talking about Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay monster from the 80s. I believe it was the first time that was really noted big time. I believe if you look behind me, this says remote viewing. I don't know who knows what. I'm sure Kevin knows about remote viewing.
Only what you've told. I haven't really looked into it before.
Okay. Well, it's not psychic. You're not reading somebody's mind. You're not playing John Edwards or anything like that, or Sylvia Brown. So, but you are. So what I want to do is we get started. Everybody wants to participate, and please join in. This is going to be fun, and we might learn something. Get some paper and a pen or a pencil, and put it out in front of you. You too, Kevin. You got to go through this. Good exercise for you. There's more than, they say there's more than one type of remote viewing. And actually, you got to understand that also going back quite a few years, even the CIA, our government was involved in remote viewing. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that or not. And they even released a document about their studies. And I've got it somewhere. And it's called, it was released in 2002, May 22nd of 2002. An evaluation of the remote viewing program, research and operational applications. And as you see, it clearly has a very government title to it. Prepared by the American Institutes of Research, September 22, 1995. It was not released. Somebody got it released in 2002, 7 years later. So our government was involved in this. It's a lengthy document, so I'm not going to be going into detail, but you can find it. And it was a CIA program for remote viewing. Now, and also, you can also look it up. You can find the transcript. It's called Transcript Remote Viewing Session 934, Collection Stargate. And this is legitimate. It's not some woo-woo bullcrap, okay? So this is what our government did. And so here we're gonna, here's what we're gonna do on this. Let me get my right pages so when we get to this point, I don't have to, I've got too many pages opened up on my computer here. I want to get to the right ones. So, where are we? Bear with me 1 second. Okay, I just want to make sure I got that ready. All right, I know where I am. I had this ready for the other night and I didn't have anybody join me. All right, remote viewing. Things to remember, you want to describe, not try to identify. So when we go through this process, you've got blank paper and a pen. Whatever comes to your mind, it's almost going to be like automatic writing. If you feel that a shape is coming into mind, just kind of draw that shape on a piece of paper. And you want to have several pieces of paper because you're gonna go you're going to use up several pieces of paper doing this. You may have something that looks like a tall rectangle shape. You may have something that's kind of maybe looks like a shape of a mountain, anything like that. And you don't try to identify it. Right now, you're just doing kind of like remote writing. I mean, automatic writing, and you're just kind of whatever shapes. And at that point, you're not trying to identify what you're seeing and feeling. You're only describing what you see and feel. That could be flashes of color, a smell, a taste. It does not have to be a shape, an idea, or even a picture that crosses across your mind. So don't try to name words that identify it. Just write them down on the right-hand side column. Describe what you're seeing, not identifying it, but describing it. In other words, you're not saying this looks like a building. You're saying it's a rectangle shape, blah, blah, blah. So that would be the first thing. You're writing everything down. You're going to have 2 columns, and you're going to start out with the right column being those descriptions. Okay. And also you can draw out. One way I like to do it is more like automatic writing, where you're just drawing out roughly what you're seeing or feeling. Or, if it's a smell, you say rotted fish. Or smells like Kevin did not brush his teeth, whatever. All right. So you pay attention to all your senses. Write down textures, colors, all that kind of stuff. And then you're going to go back and we assess this. And we're going to start out with some pictures that I've got, and I'm not going to share it with anybody until after you've done this process. There are 3 types of remote viewing. One of them is called associative remote viewing, ARV. It allows you to increase your odds at the casino, the racetrack, the lotto. It's remote viewing that's done by associating something easy to view with something more difficult to view. A little bit more complex than what I was just talking about. You've got extended remote viewing, which is a popular type of remote viewing, where you kind of go into a Zen moment. You're lying down on your bed or your couch or recliner, very comfortable. It's almost like going through a hypnotic type process, and then you focus on a certain target, which could be coordinates on the planet. It could be, say, okay, there's a place in Russia I want you to look at, and that kind of things. What we're going to stick to is what I just described, instead of going through all that. So what you'll do is I'm going to pull up on my screen. You're not going to see this. And I'm going to be looking at this. And what I'm seeing is going to be your target. So you'll just kind of just get relaxed. And kind of, and I'm not there yet. You wait, just kind of get yourself in that Zen moment. I got to find my link to where I put this stuff. Jeez, I'm running slow here. Make sure your paper's in your right in front of you, and you're ready to start. Remember, you're looking to describe, not to identify. Does that make sense to you? Describe and not identify?
Now you were saying columns on the right. Describe.
Yeah, you put it out, and you, right or left, you make a column, and you're just putting descriptions, and then draw roughly a sketch of what you feel you're seeing, if that makes sense to you.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm gonna pull the first one up here, and what I'll be doing is I'll be looking at this picture, and I will ultimately. Where's the picture?
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. So is everybody ready for this? Let me see if I've got any. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. All right, everybody kind of just relax, get in the moment. I'm not going to be looking at the screen with you. I'm going to be looking at this picture that I've got on my screen that I've already had kind of pre-selected here. And it's right here. And now, so I want you to just let your senses take over. You're targeting me in the area I'm in, and I'm looking at this picture. Take your time. The minute you feel something, whatever that feeling is, it could be like around. It could be like a ball. It could be like any shape or color, brightness, darkness, all those kind of things. You just write dark or light, or you know what I'm saying. So anything like that, without trying to just to identify what you're seeing, just describing what you're seeing. So I'm going to be quiet, and whenever you think you've got everything down that you can come up with, then we'll go from there. And I hope that other people over here, and I hope that I've got some help, because I can't communicate with everything. And Brendan, thank you for joining us. And we've got, I think that's Ashley that said red, orange. Hold on to that. Don't share what you're seeing yet. Don't share what you're seeing. Keep it to yourself right now. Just write it down. Yeah, I've got that document up. In fact, I will share that while these guys, y'all keep on. I'm going to share something in the chat area.
I already got something down myself.
Okay. When everybody else is ready, let me take a moment here, and I got to figure out where to respond to Brendan. Oh, there you go, Brendan. Okay, Brendan, this is what you're talking about. I already talked. You're just late. You weren't here when I talked about that. Okay. Okay, so I think Catherine said red, orange. Okay, Kevin said you're my main guy right here. What have you got?
Okay, what I saw, something that was like a light, very bright, like an orb shape, glowing. I kind of pictured the sun. And I even drew, if you want to see that.
You bet.
This right here.
Okay. So that
Flaming
looks like
orb sun.
Okay.
I couldn't see color, just really bright, like if you were looking at the sun.
You're looking at my head. Are you okay?
I'm blind.
All right. And anybody else? I think Catherine, was that you that said red, orange? Talk to me.
It's funny. She
Oh,
said
wait a
that
minute.
after.
I'm adding on Ashley. Ashley, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. You know Kevin, right?
Yeah. Hi.
Did you go through this process with us?
No, I was trying to figure out how to do all this special stuff, but I figured it out.
Okay. So you're here with us, and we got Kevin. There's actually somebody on here that's better looking than you are.
Well, how about that? And I'm sure you a lot better than you.
Everybody. All right. So interesting stuff. Are we ready for the reveal? Do y'all want to see what I was looking at and see how close you were? Let me find where I saved the image here, where I can share it. Dadgummit. Hold on. I guess I'm going to have to go back and save it again, because now I can't find it. I got too much stuff on my computer. Hold on. Bear with me. Where is that? There it is. Okay. All right, hold on. I'm almost there. I'm slow. I know. It's all good. It's all good. Here it is.
Comes all that age.
All right. So everybody, if you're ready, here is the reveal, Kevin, and I think that was Catherine. I'm going to tell you what, you're both. If you took a little bit longer, you might have been right on it. Okay. It's very interesting because you kind of saw a fireball, didn't you, Kevin?
Yeah.
And then
It's
Catherine,
like a glowing
Catherine,
fiery orb.
Catherine saw orange and what color? But here, you ready for the reveal?
Yeah. No.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Red and orange. Do you see red and orange there?
Yeah, I see red and orange.
And Catherine, I mean, you saw fire. Really, basically a fireball, I guess. You know?
Ball like the sun. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure it was the sun, but it was something.
Yeah. Well, you were just admiring my head and it kind of confused me. All right. So now, let me get back over here. Is everybody ready? Ashley going to participate this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Brendan, you got your paper and pen ready? Let's go. I will pull up another image on my screen. I think everybody now knows how to do this. Brendan sounds like he's already familiar with this program. So let's pull up, and I've got these pictures here by number, so I don't know what they are until I actually click on the number. So I'm looking at it now, and I'm going to let y'all do your thing, and just whatever comes to mind. You're not trying to identify, you're only describing, if you understand the difference. Colors, whatever you come up with. Whatever you come up with. I'm staring at it. I'm looking at it. I want everybody to get involved in this. Brendan, I hope you're doing this as well. So let's see how close. That one really blew my mind because Kevin, you and Catherine, it didn't take y'all a minute to come up with that. If you'd taken longer, you might have even got closer. But that was damn close. That was real close. Don't you think?
Yeah, it was.
And you guys just have to let me know when you're ready. And you'll have to verbally let me know. Kevin, I didn't ask you. Do you see the chat room on your screen when y'all join?
Yeah,
huh?
I do.
Okay, so let me know when everybody's ready, because I've got another page opened up on my screen so I can look at this photo as y'all try to target this and do this remote viewing.
I got something here, but I don't know how close I am.
That's fine. Just hold on to it. Don't show it yet. Let other people. I hope you are participating. Ashley, you coming up with anything?
Kind of, sort of, maybe.
This is not a test, really. I mean, as far as you're not being graded. But if you hit this stuff head on, we're gonna promote you.
Mine could be way off the mark this time. You never know.
I was amazed. But I want you to see, like Ashley, anybody else is listening, for Kevin and Catherine both, they didn't take any time. They didn't give it any thought. It was just whatever came to mind, bam, that quick. And they were close. Between the colors that Catherine came up with and what Kevin came up with, it was like, wow, I was impressed. But they didn't overthink it. That's the key to it. They did not overthink it. Brendan, give a thumbs up or something if you're doing this. And if anybody gets ready to give us something, just let us know. Don't tell us yet. And then we'll identify the picture. Okay, Kevin, you're ready. Ashley, where are you?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, Ashley, what'd you come up with?
Kind of awkward, kind of weird, like a bluish green, maybe.
Okay, you saw colors. Anything other than colors?
No.
Okay. Kevin, what'd you come up with?
Well, I saw the first thing I saw color wise was something red, and it was like something flowing but straight,
Okay.
maybe a streamer or a ribbon, just kind of flowing or waving.
Did you draw pictures?
Well, I drew this. I don't know.
Okay, well, what is that? Okay,
I don't know either. A
Kind of a
stream or a streamer.
okay, wait a minute. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, and then I guess this is I don't identify her, but I guess this is Catherine. You should see what all I wrote down: circle, triangle, red, orange, smoke. Is that on this one?
Yeah, I think that was on the fire thing.
Okay. Brendan, he mostly got a number 7. He kept thinking 7, that there was a room full of noise and kids, something about watching their tablets, and he couldn't get past the number 7. So I don't see Catherine participate in this. Is there anybody else out there that came up with anything as we're doing this before I do the reveal of this picture? And then we're going to tie it in again. Now, what did you see, Ashley, again?
Bluish green.
Okay. I don't know how much of a stretch it'll be. Huh? Okay.
I
You
think
ready
I just
for the
totally failed that.
You ready for the reveal?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So, believe it or not, now, okay, there's clearly a lot of different colors in there. This actually, and even Brendan, see, you're not trying to identify what you're seeing, you're only describing. And so when Ashley saw the colors, this is a Christmas dinner. That's exactly what it is a Christmas dinner. So when you tie that in, I'm not putting the heading of the picture when I show you, but it is identified as a Christmas dinner. And so the colors that Ashley saw would fall in harmony with that. What Kevin saw would fall in harmony with that, right?
Yeah, red ribbon. Yeah, red ribbon, that would be.
How many chairs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's hard to tell.
There's 6.
6 chairs. How many? 1, 2, 3. He's looking for the number 7. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 7 bottles of wine.
Well, there's that.
Well, okay. Now I guess this must be. I don't know if this is Catherine or who. Blue, box, cold. But you see how all those things can easily be tied in to Christmas.
Yeah.
And it is a Christmas dinner. If we did this under different settings, you know how we're kind of doing this now, but if you took more time and you really took your time and were really focused, and I realize that none of you were prepared mentally or any other way to do this. This is spontaneous. So that makes a difference too. Shall we try this again? Anybody enjoying this process?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Okay. So again, and the more you do it, you kind of start getting a feel on how to do it. Because are you trying to grab a hold of it now a little bit and understand it a little bit better?
Uh-huh.
because you're not trying to identify, you're just describing. And when you use those descriptive terms, you're all kind of hitting the subject matter that we're looking at. And that's interesting. And I think our buddy Brandon over there is doing this. And he knows more about this than I think you do, Kevin. And so let's go. Okay, everybody ready? Get yourselves together, and I'm going to study and this photograph here. You guys don't overthink it. Just let it go and describe where. I like what Kevin's doing. He's drawing that picture, and believe it or not, when I first saw that, Kevin, it's that rectangle shape. It could have been that table, you know, the dining table.
Flowing with food.
And you and I don't, and you and I don't like food at all.
Oh no, I like food.
All right, so I'm going to sit back. Kevin, as you do your thing, kind of watch the chat room. Let me know when everybody's ready. And then we'll go from there. We'll let each of you talk about what you found and go from there. Again, don't overthink it. Just whatever comes to your mind. Just don't try to identify it. Just describe it. Whatever color, whatever smells. And like I think somebody did last time, even somebody said cold or hot or, you know, anything like that. Bright, dull, anything that comes to your mind. Don't overthink it.
All right, I've got something. I don't know if anybody in the chat has anything yet.
Okay, Brendan, Catherine, whoever's watching, if y'all got something, let Kevin know. Ashley, how are you coming?
I'm good. I'm ready.
Okay. Chat room, anybody got your stuff ready? Anybody say anything over there, Kevin?
I see a thumbs up and good. I don't know if that means somebody says trees and green.
All right. Identify yourself, Facebook user. That's all it says here. I'm not seeing who you are. And Brendan, what have you got? Brendan's on YouTube with us. We'll start with these guys over there. Trees and green. And Brendan, what have you got? Tell us something, bro. Dang, Ashley, you're in a very dark room.
Yeah.
Okay, automatically saw blue water or something like a lake or body of water. And then Catherine said trees and green. All right, Ashley, what do you got?
I'm going to have to say gold, silver, and lace.
You're just looking at my outfit.
That's what it is.
All right, Kevin.
I had something round with like a checkered pattern with multicolors or red, yellow, blue. And I felt warmth and sort of like a summer thing. And I don't know, it's kind of looked like a beach ball kind of a shape. I don't know. Multicolored and
I'm worried. I'm worried about you, Kevin. Everything that you're coming up with is round, except for one.
That wasn't round. The ribbon was straight now.
All right, let me
flowing.
I got to get this picture loaded here. And
Brendan said he automatically saw blue water or something like a lake body of water.
all right, so how many of these we've done? This is the third one we've done.
Yeah.
I want you to see the difference. The first one I thought was phenomenal. Okay. The second one was okay. but this one, y'all are headed the wrong direction. That's all I can say. You started out good. I think you're overthinking because there's the picture.
First thing it's snowing. Well, there's blue.
All right, so what do y'all think? Who's got what here? Let's see. Trees, and well, there's trees. Is there any green? Is this a little hoodie green or something? It's almost, yeah. I don't see any green.
And gray.
So Catherine got trees, blue water.
Green.
Well, hey, Brendan, snow is frozen water.
Yeah.
Evergreen trees will be green. Yeah, that's right. There is some evergreen trees. I didn't pay attention to that. That's right. So I think that overall, if yeah, Brendan, I don't see it. Maybe there's a frozen lake over to the left there somewhere. I don't know. I've got a narrow picture, but the evergreen trees is true. Let's see. What did she say? Trees and green. So I guess I've got to say, out of everybody, Kevin, you were on a different planet with this one.
There could be a beach ball laying over there on the porch somewhere.
Ashley, what did you come up with?
I said gold and silver and lace.
Okay. Maybe whoever's holding the camera. I don't know. All right. Yeah, Brendan, I'm sorry, bro. But you know what? This is a learning curve. And you think back, I don't think Brendan was with us when we first started this. Gosh, you and Catherine hit this almost. It was awesome. So again, we're going to do it one more time. Take a breath and don't think. That's easy for some of us. Maybe it's hard, but don't think. Just let your mind, just whatever pops into your head. Maybe you're doing that already, but yeah. Well, there we go. Somebody says snowflakes look like lace.
Yeah.
You remember the little dollies that Grandma had sitting on her coffee table? You know what I'm talking about? They would stitch those little dollies, and Kevin knows what I'm talking about. All right. Do we want to do this again? Are you all having any fun with this?
Well, now that we're way off of it, I don't know.
Well, no, but it's a learning curve.
Yeah, we can't get them all. So
yeah, okay. Now I've got another interesting one up here, and don't overthink it. Just let your mind flow, and whatever shapes, senses, and you're on the right target. If you feel cold, write cold, hot, write hot, whatever. And just let it flow, and let me know when you're ready. I'm enjoying this personally.
Well, I got something. Anybody else?
Kevin's always first.
I got something too.
Okay, Ashley, how we doing in the chat room with Brendan and Catherine? I'm depending on you, Kevin, to watch the chat room for me because I'm looking at the picture. All right, guys, y'all let Kevin know when you've got something. when you're ready.
Catherine's got brown, heat, squirrel.
Brendan, still with us? Brendan? Okay, he's ready. All right. Okay, we know what Catherine's got. What do you have there, Brandon? Share it with us. And Catherine, you need to learn how to spell. Okay, so Brandon got a feeling more than a description of anything. Ashley?
I'd say like autumn, festival, warm colors.
Okay, warm colors. Okay. Any other shapes or anything?
Rectangular.
Okay, rectangular. Anything else you want to add to it before we go to Mr. Kevin?
I'm good.
Okay. Now here's Kevin.
I just figure 8 shape, but
You what?
sideways.
Okay, slow down.
Figure 8 shape, but sideways.
And what do you got written there?
Figure 8 shaped, but sideways.
Okay. It's almost like a racetrack, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that's fine, Brandon. I got you. All right. Are y'all ready for the reveal? I hadn't uploaded it.
Yeah.
Yet. I'm moving slow here. There we go. All right. Are y'all ready? Would anybody like to make a wager on anybody? You know, who's the closest on this? All right, here we go.
I think Catherine's gonna be.
You think Catherine's going to be? All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, what do you feel?
It's a windmill.
Well, it's more than a windmill. Like I said, you're not focused on the windmill. There's all kind of shapes in here. When she said,
There's mountains, clouds.
keep in mind, all those stones right there are rectangle. On that wall,
Yeah.
she saw rectangle. So I want you to key into that because we're doing this very quickly. If we were to do this correctly, it would take a lot more time. In other words, I would just walk away and let y'all focus for 30 minutes. But we're doing this like real fast. So Ashley got rectangle, and there are a lot of rectangle shapes, and that's the closest thing to what I'm looking at is the rectangle shapes. Every one of those stones on the top row are all rectangle. None of them are they're not square, they're not horizontal, but they're rectangle. Now what'd you get? You figure 8? I don't have a clue, Kevin.
Well, there's 8 windows facing us on this windmill.
2, 4. There is. There are 8. So
I don't know why I saw a sideways figure 8, but
now what did we get here? Anxious, excited, or waiting. Okay, I don't know how that would fit in this scenario, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't fit somehow because it's just a picture. Okay, the blade is like a figure 8.
yeah.
And
I was picture winding, kind of like winding mountains there,
and what did Catherine say again?
She said
she says she can't.
squirrel, brown, heat, and squirrel.
Heat and squirrel. And what did Ashley say again? Oh, the rectangles.
Yeah, the squares and autumn and.
Okay, I tell you what, we've got 37 minutes left in this live stream. So I'm going to do one more picture, except this time we're going to take a lot more time. So before we get started, if you want to get you something to drink, get more relaxed, I want you to take a lot of time and give a lot more detail, come up with a lot more, because that's the way it's supposed to be done. We're doing it very rapidly. And so that's not the way it's supposed to be done. So when you guys are ready, I'm going to pull up my next picture, excuse me, and then I'm going to have that on screen. And when you, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up now. I'm not going to wait. And you just start anytime you want to, keeping in mind, I'm going to randomly pull up another picture this time. The picture's here, and I'm looking at it. I'm going to take myself, well, you can't see me. Okay, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yep.
Okay. There's a delay. Okay, so anytime, take your time. We're not going to do it fast this time. We're going to take our time this time, because I see some potential, but I think we're not doing it right because we've been kind of, rapid machine gunning this, and that's not the way to do it. So we're going to take 15 minutes. Take your time and just anything that comes through your mind in this 15 minutes. It's now 25 past 8, and so it would be 20 or 9, right? When we'll come back, I'm gonna let y'all run with it. I'm gonna go get me something to drink. So y'all take your time.
I'm ready.
You're always first.
Well, I've got a list of words here. Things, descriptions.
I got descriptions. We'll see. I think you're going to get it this time, though.
Keep in mind, this is really not a test. Take your time. You've still got a good 10 minutes. You've only been doing it 5 minutes. And all your senses come into play. Visual, hearing, smell, colors, temperatures, all these senses, whatever you feel.
Spices. Yeah.
If anybody's just tuning in, we're just trying out a remote viewing thing here. We're just waiting on everybody to seeing or feeling or hearing. Let's see how close that comes to the picture that Chip. Huh?
Kevin, did he say like what you smell too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and Ashley, I did take a bath.
What? I missed that.
That's not me you're smelling, I promise.
What are you saying? He's on a delay. He kind of pops in several seconds after he says something.
Well, see, I've got like a certain word in my mind, but like it might come out incorrectly. I don't want to sound uneducated. That's what I'm a little worried about.
I haven't got to worry about that here.
Okay, is everybody ready? I think Brandon put there that he is ready.
Yep.
If everybody's ready, I'm not going to hold to the 15 minutes because I think y'all getting bored. So online there, let's start with Brandon. Tell us what you got, Brandon. Wake up,
Delay,
Brandon.
or
Huh?
he might have wandered off. He might be on delay or wandered off.
He might have wandered up. Catherine, are you still there? Are y'all still doing your thing? I'm not going to rush you if you're still taking your time. That's good. No rush. All right, you're confusing them now.
I like my piranha.
But does your piranha like you?
I don't know. It doesn't say much.
All right. Okay. What do you got, Catherine? Let you start. Brandon, Catherine, I'm trying to let y'all go first on the chat room. Give us something. I know there's a delay.
Yeah.
Pathway, lots of colors. Brandon, are you still there? Or did you vanish on us? All right, there he goes. Like a dead fall tree, dark gray, black, then green moss carpet, texture, cool, damp, musky. Okay, that's interesting. So, Ashley? You're next.
Okay. Animals of animals. Different triangle shapes. Shades of red and green and warm. And my senses would be different spices.
Okay. Anything else? That it?
Told you my smell was going to be fun. That's it.
Okay. Kevin, you're next.
Yeah, I got a list of things here. This is a lot. I couldn't draw this time. Start out with apple, fruit, something about that, and then the number 6, and then something about a bowl.
Did my makeup come off?
Then a bowl.
A what?
And then something, a bowl.
A bowl. Okay.
And then something about sports or some kind of an event. People who are, there's a lot of people and cheering and excitement. I felt excitement. And I saw the color blue. And then something about an old, like older person or age old kept popping in my mind. And then the smell of popcorn. It's a lot of different variety.
All right, I'm going to reveal the picture, and I want y'all to look over in the chat room, you and Ashley, and see what they came up with, and give me feedback on what y'all think. I'm not going to give my feedback this time. I want y'all to give feedback on each other, okay? Can you handle that?
Yeah.
Here we go. You ready?
Okay. Oh.
Outdoors.
Yeah, let's see. Catherine said pathway, lots of colors. There's blue, green. There's a path going along the...
On the back of the lake, yep.
Yeah, there's a pathway. And then Brandon saw deadfall tree, dark gray. There's some, then green, moss carpet, that grass or whatever on the hillside there. Moss carpet texture, cool, damp, musky. The lake is cool and damp, may have a musky smell, depending on where it is. I think those are cool. What was it Ashley said? Spicy or spices or something?
Smell. Which you could, the pine, those pine trees back there?
Yeah.
Which that would be a smell that's almost like a spicy thing. Yeah. So Brandon said he saw a dark forest basically, which is back on the mountain there. But Brandon's looking for Bigfoot.
I mean, the only things I got close to this is blue and then age old. I mean, this is probably a lake and area that's been around for hundreds of thousands of years, probably. So,
Well, would y'all like to do this again sometime?
yeah, it's interesting.
So the next time we do this, you've got. Can you imagine the colors of fall? In fall, yeah. So the next time we do this, you can already be mentally prepared to get into this, and it's not a speed test. Usually, if you go back and you research remote viewing, it does not take place quickly. It really is a slow process. We're still moving very rapidly. I mean, within 5 minutes, y'all are getting bored. And the way I've seen it done on a professional level is they've got several sheets of paper. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of this picture. They've got several sheets of paper, and they're just going through, drawing different shapes and adding some words separately on each piece of paper. And you want to, again, get into your senses and focus on a targeted area. So you're in your mind, you're thinking, okay, my mind is going to where Kelsey's sitting, and I'm looking at his screen, and I'm looking at the picture that he's looking at. That's my target. So you got to put yourself through this exercise of being there with me, looking at what I'm looking and seeing through my eyes. And then you start grabbing this information that you're coming up with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so this, I really appreciate y'all joining in on this. I think it's fun. I think us being in this, stay-at-home orders and all this stuff, it's a perfect time because, hey, we can go to the Oval Office and find out what's really going on. Brandon, that'd be great. And yeah, there's a lot of information about it. Different people have different techniques with it, but you want to go into this mode when you're given a target. You're not given a description. You just know that, hey, I want to focus on what Kelsey's seeing. Wherever Kelsey is, I could be walking down the street. I could be standing in front of a park on a street corner, and you want to get a sense. I become your target, and you're wanting to see, but you're wanting to see through my eyes. You could do it. We could send Kevin out to it.
We want to see what you're seeing now.
Yeah.
Might be dangerous territory. We don't know what's
Yeah. All right. I really enjoyed this, and being the first exercise for this group of people. And Ashley left us. Thank you, Ashley, for joining us. I assume you're still there somewhere, but she took herself off camera. Brandon, thank you, Catherine, and get more people. The next time, let's put this out earlier. We could do this any night of the week that Kevin's available, if he wants to. He's kind of nitpicky on his times. I don't know why. Are you doing anything? Huh?
I got this big move on my mind, and it's going to get busier the closer we get to it. So
how close you getting?
The actual move is going to be 2 weeks from 2 weeks from today is closing.
Okay, so have you got your stuff? You got people coming in to help you pack and move, right?
Yeah, I've got somebody hired to pack, and then they're going to come back and move me on. I'm going to move 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Okay. So is there any prepping you've got to do? We love you too, Brandon. Thank you so much for being a part of us. And anytime, I don't push anybody to join us on screen, but if you'd like to, I'll send you the link and I can bring you right in here with us. Everybody gets tired of just looking at Kevin and I'm sure. But I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
It's a good exercise. and I'd like to see where it takes us. So next week, y'all kind of be getting your minds around this and get psyched up for this. You have a good evening, Brandon. We're going to wrap this up in a few minutes. We've got 15 minutes. We talked about Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay sea monster, their version of Nessie, the necklace. I can't talk.
Nessie.
Nessie. Yes, they do miss you. And that was interesting. I hadn't thought about that in forever, and I certainly did not tie that in with the Kennedy. Those Kennedys have been through HELL.
I know.
But I never did. I would have never tied that in with that sea monster.
Just leave it to me to do that.
But that does raise. I haven't studied it out. It was just kind of in my peripheral, and I didn't know. I knew that they had found her body. I didn't know that they had not found his body, I don't think, and I certainly didn't know the details of it that you did.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to follow that. I don't know if we'll ever get to any more details from it. Sometimes they get kind of hush hush, and I've learned that the more they don't know, the more hush hush they are. They hate to admit either what they know or what they don't know. So
we talked about the green clawed monster in the Ohio River, and the lady who was attacked by it got a visit by the Air Force telling her not to speak about it.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
just like the Air Force, these pilots have seen UFOs, and they were kind of warned to keep their mouth shut, weren't they?
Yeah.
What about ISIS on the space station?
ISIS on the space station.
You know, the space station, they call it ISIS, you know, the things they see up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. ISS, International Space Station.
Yeah.
I've seen and heard that they have seen some strange things from up there.
Yeah, they've shown some video. There's things out there. Some could be space debris. The one that blew my mind was whatever it was they caught on the NASA camera that came straight up out of the Earth's atmosphere, and then it moved off horizontally off into space. It was like a flat shaped thing. I don't know what it was, but
that wouldn't have been
flew off to the side.
That wouldn't have been that Black Knight thing, would it?
I don't know. I remember that was about a year or two ago when they were talking. In fact, I was hearing about it on the radio when I got to work. We pulled it up on the computer to look at it, and that was weird. I mean, it just, like I said, came up, it stopped, and then it moved off into the blackness of space and disappeared.
The Black Knight satellite. Yeah, that's a strange beast.
The Black Knight.
Yeah,
that thing.
Huh?
That thing with the pictures I've seen of that thing looks like something got chucked out of the space station trash hole or something. Big old hunk of metal floating around.
I know. Hold on.
It could be a satellite, an actual satellite. I don't know. Who knows what Russia has up there we don't know about? Or China.
I'm more worried about what we got up there we don't know about.
Oh yeah, our own government. There you go. It's like a hunk of something that just broke off, or
yeah, but if it was a different species of life from a different planet or whatever, that might be a slick rocket ship to them.
Yeah.
We always look at things through the bubble of our existence and fail to see how another something could view it, you know?
That could be a piece of UFO.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a little gold man instead of a little green man.
Well, I also want to do some research into that. You know, we're talking about that area of Chesapeake Bay and the strange creatures, Chessie. And I want to find out the information about that laboratory up there where they do experiments with animals. And I can't remember. I'm going to have to dig for that. years ago, I saw a lot on that. I just hadn't paid attention to it lately. So I want
another thing that reminds me of is the other creature the famous creature we have here, the lake monster, is Champ up in Lake Champlain, one of the Great Lakes, and that lady who took the famous photo back in, what was that, the 60s or 70s or early 70s,
right.
That's been around for a long time. Very clear photo of some kind of, it's like a brontosaurus coming out of the water way off in the distance. And the thing is, that picture was taken back when they didn't have what we have with CGI and all that. It looks real. You can see the sunlight glistening on the backside of this thing, reflecting. And the thing is, what's strange is this lady, she's had this photo all this time. My buddy up in New York went to hear one of her lectures in Vermont. She's had this photo around and done all these talks, and she has refused to ever accept a dime. Magazines like Life Magazine and TV, people have offered money. She refuses to accept. Now, if she was doing this as a hoax, why would she not accept money?
Yeah.
I think that's her way of trying to show how legitimate she's being about it. So I've always been mystified by that Champ picture.
Okay, I'm going to share something as we wrap it up here, the last few minutes. This guy is entertaining as heck. So watch this. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I did it wrong. I got to start over because I missed a button I need to click on. Let me get here. If I don't do this right, I won't get it right because I want you to hear it too. Okay, here we go.
This took place on 2 separate occasions. I had a female Bigfoot grab me. It was two different Bigfoots. The first time she grabbed me, she was carrying me sort of like I'm carrying Marty, but his head was turned the opposite way. She was running up hills 40 miles an hour. I swear to God, she was fast as shit. And while she was running, my head is going the other way, and my feet are kicking out front. But my head's back this way. I'm trying to get away. I'm like, let me down. And she's running. She's farting. I swear. She was passing gas right in my face. It got worse. I don't want to go too in depth here, but she got me back to the Sasquatch den and started treating me like a baby. This is true. You know how like a kitten will take care of like puppy, or a cat will like find a puppy and nurse the puppy, or vice versa. You have like a golden retriever that finds some kittens and starts taking care of them. That's what the Bigfoot was doing with me, like I was a baby. This is true. And then the buck Sasquatch came in, and as soon as she saw that her baby, with the baby, and as soon as she saw that the baby was back, she dropped me like a sack of potatoes. She didn't care about me. That was the first incident. The other incident is really difficult to talk about, and that's that I was back there, and there was a different female barreled out of the woods, pulled my pants down, jerking the ween. That's all I want to go into. I don't even want to think about it. It's terrible. But what I wanted to talk about in particular was protective gear, which you can see that I have different types of protection on. One is for like the hat and Marty's hat. That's to protect against gamma radiation, and also the gray aliens can read your mind. So this will keep them from reading our minds. That's one. And this is for viral protection. And as you see, I have an air tank on back. And I know you're saying that's not a scuba tank. No, it's not. It's a old, you can see it, it's an old copper fire extinguisher that I retrofitted, and it can handle about 5 or 10 minutes of air. It'll get you through, an area that has a huge viral load. Now this suit right here, I call this the executive protection suit. And I contacted Governor Cuomo, and well, anyway, to make a long story short, they don't want me to contact them anymore. But anyway, I digress. What I wanted to talk about was that I'm willing to take one for the team. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about is when I'm watching the governor talk about the situation that we're in, they talk about all kinds of new therapies. And one of them is if a person gets the virus and then recovers, they're going to extract blood or something. You know, it's medical magic. And then they're going to do some kind of stuff like that. And then they take the blood, and I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but it's important that if they're going to use people that recovered and you know, extract the plasma and then do their mumbo jumbo, and it's supposed to be helpful. So I'm willing. What I think might be the case is there might be here because of Bigfoot, not bats. And I'm willing to go back into the woods, and I'm going to go back into the woods. I'm going to find that female Sasquatch and, you know, take one for the team. Now, I'm going to keep wearing this because I don't want her dripping too much of that viral stuff all over me. I don't even want to do this, but I know, since I've already been around her, I know that I can probably fight it off. So I'm going to go sort of get infected by the Bigfoot, come back, be sick for a couple weeks, and then call the mayor's office again for the, I don't know how many times I've called. I don't know. I'm persistent. I wanted him to see. I made this especially for not the mayor, the governor. I'll call the mayor too, but any executive could use this suit. It's a fantastic suit. It has, like I said, 5 or 10 minutes full of air. And say you're going through the subway or something, and you see some real sick-looking people. You put this in your mouth and just walk through. You're fine. Now you might say, "Well, this is yeah," but if you wear glasses with this, I'm good to go. See what I'm saying?
This guy.
So he had a full hat on the dog. He had doll heads on the back fence posts.
You do, if you like to be entertained, he's on YouTube. It's Peter Kane Dog Training, and I love his stuff. He's funny as hell. He's been raped by Bigfoot. He tells some hellacious stories. Everybody, thank everybody for joining us tonight. I know I'm sure Kevin enjoyed this like I did. I think it was fun. It's nice to have. Nice to have all you guys participating with us, and hope to do this again. I don't know what Kevin's schedule is going to be, but we might. I don't know. I kind of push. It's like, would you like to do this Friday night? Would you have a little bit of time Friday night to do this?
Hey, I could do a little bit Friday night.
Okay. Well, we'll get the word out early, and maybe even get more people involved. You might get your girlfriend Cherie to join us as well. I don't know if she does any remote viewing or not, but
I don't know, maybe. I
thought it was fun, and some of it was quite amazing with what you guys came up with. So we just this is what we do. Again, Abnormal Alabama YouTube. I need some subscribers. Kevin, did you have anybody join you tonight on YouTube? Can you get any new viewers?
I haven't been on there, so I don't know if I. Let me see. I can look right here and see if anybody new has joined. All right, that still shows I need 16 more subscribers.
Okay.
Hey, make sure you put in My Haunted Dolls Kevin Kane, because there's another haunted doll thing out there too. Or you can just go to myhaunteddolls.com. I've got the link to the YouTube out there on the links page.
Right.
Make sure to get the right one, because somebody else has got a channel called My Haunted Dolls out there too. I know.
That they're imitating your success.
Yeah, I've been out there longer.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, our stuff is Abnormal Alabama Facebook, YouTube and abnormalalabama.com. Kevin and I both have all kind of books out there. And
Yeah.
I know this is a perfect book for right now because if you're single, it's hard to meet people and date, but there are opportunities. There's even a part in here about Bigfoot sex. And just subscribe to Peter Kane, the dog trainer, because some of his stuff is serious because he does legitimate dog training. But you go through there, and he's had the dog man in his barn. He does all this silliness as well as the dog training. So go subscribe to Peter Kane. I like him. And he has actually had sex and been raped by Bigfoot. Sasquatch has been on his property and they've abused that poor man. In one of the videos, he's crying his eyes out. He just, but sometimes it's like the one I just showed. He's ready to take one for the team, But I know that Kevin and I don't. I've never. Have you had sex with Bigfoot, Kevin?
No, never had sex with Bigfoot.
I hadn't either. Now he may have. I'm working on my new book, and there might be a chapter on Kevin and some kind of illicit stuff going on with dolls. I don't know.
It's gonna be all lies too.
We had to quarantine those dolls. All right. Thanks a bunch. And according to Kevin, we can do this again Friday night. So get your remote viewing tinfoil hats on and join us. 7 o'clock good? Or you want to do it earlier, later? 7 o'clock? Okay. We're going to do remote viewing 7 o'clock Friday night. Perfect time with the lockdown. Hope everybody be safe. Take care. And we'll talk to you shortly.
All right.
You got anything you want to say?
No, just good night.
When